Welcome back to Pet Problem Solved. What's the weather like where you're living right now? In Sydney, it's getting hot. But maybe where you are, it's getting towards winter. This time last year, I was enjoying hot chocolates and glühwein in Switzerland and Scotland. This year, it's more of a chilled rosé and freezing cold ice water in Sydney. Grab whatever drink you prefer, get your pet beside you. I'll be answering pet behaviour questions. Talking of hot weather, Andrew from far north Queensland had asked me, give him a couple of tips to keep his dog cool in summer, and his cat too, although he doesn't feel his cat is such an issue. Well, that's true. Cats will look for the coolest place in summer and the warmest place in winter. You just need to make sure they have that choice to move around and get to the spot that suits them the best. And dogs are much the same. You've got to give them shade, you've got to give them spots to get away from the heat. I'm going to talk a lot more in my podcast. If you are watching this on video, you might like to go to the podcast channels and tune in. But I'm going to give you one tip here on the video, and that is water. Water, 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 lots and lots of water, and all the different ways you can use water. So of course, giving your dog and cat lots of fresh water, more than one bowl, because all too often it may dry out with the heat. It may get knocked over, in which case your pet will have no water to drink. They may stick their front paws in it to cool down and scrape away at the water, having fun there. So make sure you give your pet more than one bowl of water. They often like a water fountain because it seems to be fresher water that's coming out, attracts them more to drink from that. You might like to freeze water the night before and add some ice cubes to the water to keep it cool all day. You can freeze some of your dog or cat's favourite treats within the water, so it's like having a doggy ice block. Other things to do with water, have a type of swimming pool. Now, if you're taking your dog swimming, make sure you supervise. I don't really suggest you take your cat swimming. Some cats do love water and will readily go in showers. But with a dog, you could get one of these children's sand pits and you could provide that for them to splash around in. Again, if your dog's not used to this, make sure it's only a little layer of water, because if not, there is a danger of drowning. Now, if you're somebody that enjoys, watching and feeding native birds, then providing a bird bath for those birds is important too. And also with all your other small animals, not just dogs and cats, but guinea pigs, chickens, ducks, providing water for them to drink, if not splash around in, but making sure they're safe doing so is a great way to keep animals cool in summer. If you can, get your dog to a doggy beach. There's not too many dog-friendly beaches. In fact, I don't think there's any at all here in Sydney, but there are dog-friendly bodies of water that you can get to. So that's my water tips on keeping your pets cool. Do tune into my podcast for lots more tips on keeping pets cool. And if it's just too hot for you outdoors, it's probably too hot for your pet. Get in, get some air conditioning on, get the fan going, cool yourself down, pat yourself with water, pat your cats and dogs with water. Stay cool. Can you hear the water trickling in the background? That's from one of my ponds. I like to keep the filter going to keep the water fresh and clean. Such a lovely, relaxing sound. Anyway, I have a question from Dave in Sydney who's asked about how can he help his daughter get her dog to do a recall, to call her dog back in the park. Yeah, it's very hard, isn't it? And you're right to be concerned, because it is important that we do have the ability to get our dogs to come back to us, not only to stop dog fights, but to stop them running away, getting running over, chasing birds, chasing other joggers or children in the park, or you just need to go home and you want them to come back. Or in my dog's case, it's a recall to stop her getting into muddy puddles. Her favourite thing in the world, I think, is to get into a muddy puddle, and it happens all the time in the park. So what to do? Take it away from the park to start with. So I would say what to do is to get two people, if possible, have a little bit apart, maybe in your backyard, maybe even your lounge room. Show your dog you have the tastiest treats possible, or whatever it is they love, whether it's a squeaky toy or just your praise and pats. Be enthusiastic, be kind, be gentle, but have some enthusiasm about it so your dog wants to come to you. And you're going to call your dog from one person to the other. Now, if that is even too hard, to begin with, what you could do is attach their lead. or a long length of ribbon or rope. And when you call their name, or whatever it is, Fido, come. And when you give that recall, you can then bring your dog in towards you. And then the other person does the same. So in that way, you're setting your dog up for success. And this is really important when you're training. You don't want your dog to fail to get the command right. So really important, you set it up where your dog cannot fail to succeed, 100% success. Now, after your dog has mastered this in wherever you've started this command training, then take it elsewhere. So if you started in the lounge room, take it into your hallway. After that, take it into your backyard and maybe take it into your front yard. Then perhaps go to the dog park when it's quiet and there's no one else there. Then you can build up to times that there are other people there and other distractions. Try not to use the recall command unless you know your dog is going to come to you, at least at first, because you've got to set this up for success. If you do it slowly, gradually, keep your patience and be aware that too many distractions, young dogs, over-enthusiastic dogs, and you may not have the perfect recall for some time yet, but it will happen. Good luck, Dave, and your daughter. Now, I was asked by Abby, who's a little bit concerned about her cat. Why doesn't my cat wash much? Oh, here's Chili Dog come to join us, come to see what's in the pond. This is a question about cats, not dogs, but you're welcome anytime to join me on views. Okay, so Abby says, why does my cat not wash much? She's still young, but I always believed that cats washed a lot. Well, Abby, you're right, the majority of cats do wash a lot. I've noticed that a lot of young cats don't wash that much, but as they mature, they get more into a habit of washing. Usually when they're relaxing of an evening or sitting down during the day to have a snooze, they'll start to wash themselves. It feels good, and so they continue this behaviour the rest of their lives. So I wouldn't be too concerned about your cat not washing too much. I would make sure the cat's healthy. I'd make sure you're keeping your parasite protection up to date. You know, you can brush your cat's coat, it's really important, and especially with reduced hairballs, if you can manage some of that hair that's coming off your cat. So give your cat a brush, get them used to grooming. I've done other videos on pets who don't like being groomed, if that's an issue for you. And you can also just take a wet cloth over your cat and remove, just a damp cloth, remove any loose hairs that are around. That will help your cat grooming. Otherwise, just give them lots of places to relax, sit back and enjoy your cat. Abby over in London has asked me what age her child can start training a dog. Her child is 8 years old and is very keen on dog training, but she's not quite sure how to start him off. Well, Abby, any age of child can train a dog. It's all about just that commitment, that wanting to do it, and doing some age-appropriate things. So a very young child, much younger than yours, can stand or sit beside their parents and ask the dog to sit and offer the dog the food. Of course, the parent is doing most of this, but the child is learning what the process is, and the dog is learning that this child is also to be respected and followed. And so in that regard, just start as young as you can, and then give them some age-appropriate things to do. So train them to call the dog's name and the dog to come to them, giving a reward when they do come. With a very young child, it's important we supervise all interactions with dogs. So if your child is under 7, perhaps even under 10, then do supervise everything that goes on. Also, if it's a dog that you're unsure about, don't assume that they're all friendly with children. They're not. But with your own dog, if you know that they're friendly, then, age 10 onwards, they're perfectly capable of doing quite a bit of training with their dog. In fact, there are some junior handling classes that children can attend, so that might be something you can look into. But commands such as sit, stay, lie down, roll over, get on the sofa, get off the sofa, all of that can be carried out by children quite easily. But again, I just reiterate, please supervise if you're at all unsure about your dog's reaction to your child or your child's reaction to your dog. Good luck. Okay, you're drinking from the pond again. Yes, that's a wet beard, I can see it. We have another question about children and dogs. This time it's from Margaret, who said to me, is it okay that my 5-year-old reads to my dog, or to his dog? Well, yes, absolutely. There's many programs where dogs go into school to help children learn to read, and it's been shown that children who read to dogs learn to read quite well. So while that might be surprising, after all, dogs are not teaching them how to read, it's that open, empathic, non-judgmental attitude that a dog has. They listen to us. They're not passing judgment of, oh, you missed that word, or oh, you speed up or slow down, or do it this way or that way. They just listen, and they seem quite engaged in what we're reading. Even if you're an adult, try it. Get a book out, read it out loud to your dog. They'll probably look right at you going, what are you saying? So yes, absolutely, reading to a dog is good practice. Now again, supervise if you're unsure about your dog and child together. And with any child, especially your child's age 5 years old, I strongly suggest you supervise all interactions. But go for it. Allow your child to read to your dog. Even read to your cat, although cats have been known to just fall asleep through it and ignore us. But they still keep one ear open to listen. So it's a great bond that children and their pets can have. Go for it. Thank you for watching or listening to Pet Problem Solved today. If you have a question, just email me at info@petproblemsolved.com.au. Let me know what part of the world that you're watching or listening from. And do subscribe on any of our channels so you get updates when new videos or podcasts are available. I'm Dr. Jo Righetti. Thank you for joining me at Pet Problem Solved. Take care of your pets.